What's going on? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever platform you're listening on, Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever it is. What's going on? It's your boy, Trey Real,
And Eli.
Eli. So, of course, we've come so we can have a dialogue. And we like to call it dialogue. Let's talk about it, sis. We're going to talk about the real, the raw, the queer, the ins, the outs, the politics, and everything in between. So, thanks for tuning in. Stick with us. Trust me, this episode is definitely a treat. Eli, how was your week and how was your weekend?
My week's been good. I got a really good book in the mail recently, so I've been reading it. Janet Mock's book, the first one, Redefining Realness. Highly recommend it. I didn't do anything this weekend because, yeah, I wasn't here to celebrate.
Wasn't your Independence Day?
No, I would have still been a slave on July 4th, 1776. So,
Yeah. So I'm not laughing. I'm definitely not laughing about that. I'm laughing that we're on the same page. I'm not laughing about that part. I'm just laughing at it. We're on the same page.
oh, obviously.
My weekend was cool. It wasn't an independence celebration. So my best friend was in town. She's still in town.
Oh, fun.
And one of our mutual best friends, it was her birthday. She turned 39. We had a birthday party for her. It was really great. That's what we did on the 4th because that's her actual birthday. So we celebrated her birthday. We had a birthday party. And then on the 5th, my Philadelphia family, we had a family barbecue and cookout. It was really, really good. We played cards. We played blackjack. And
You're asking me like I was there.
no, I'm saying I said it because I wasn't sure the name of the game, but either way, I just know I walked away with some shmoney.
Come
I did
on.
really good winning. I did really good. So that's what my weekend was. And I went back to regular work.
Yes, amen. Where are you right now?
I am in Oklahoma.
Don't even sound right.
I am in Oklahoma, yes. So I've been, as you know, working remotely from home in Philadelphia for the past few months, which has been good. I thought it was good. Let me just say that. I thought it was good.
Okay, you thought it was good. Why do you think it was good?
I thought it was good because it was just like me at home and doing local things. If I needed to run to the market, I go to the market. If I need to run to here, I go there. Then I'm back in my house. I don't have a problem with being home. I enjoy me. I love me so much that I love being with me. And no one else has to be included with that. Now, I'm in Oklahoma, back in the swing of regular work. And I just want to share with you my travel experience.
Yeah, because just I can't imagine traveling right now, especially with like COVID and just like that heightened paranoia on top of just people don't know how to act.
The crazy thing is, COVID wasn't an issue for me. I don't even think about COVID because I had on a mask, period.
Yeah.
And I've always practiced hand washing techniques, wash your hands, you know. But what blew my fucking mind was my sensitivity to white privilege. and how I've come to a place where I feel like if I see it, I need to speak out against it. If something is wrong, then I need to speak out.
Okay.
So I'll start with I got to the airport and everything's going fine. I checked in everything. Then I get to the gate. I'm TSA pre-checked because for work, I've traveled so much.
Period.
I'm pre-checked. The gate, the TSA officer says, "Oh, I put my phone on the scanner and it doesn't register. So you have to go back downstairs and get a paper." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so pissed at myself. Like, oh, what's wrong?" But I don't see anything. I go downstairs, I get the actual paper boarding pass. I come up, I go through fine. So when I come back up, there's a kid and a male and a female. Let me say a male and a female standing there. And the female is kind of like, my son is 15 years old and I'm not allowed to take him to his gate. You need to get a supervisor here. So the agent asks for a supervisor, and the supervisor comes. And as the supervisor's coming, we're like crossing.
Okay.
He's coming, and I'm going through the detectors. I make it on the other side of the detectors. The mother and child is still on the opposite side. As I'm getting my things off the conveyor belt, there is a TSA agent. He looks to be maybe Filipino or something of that sort of Asian descent.
Got you.
And he's talking to a group of TSA workers, other TSA workers, about 5 or 6. And he says, I mean, I'm just sick of this shit because I'm paraphrasing actually. He said something along the lines of, I'm just sick of this shit. You know, there has we had somebody just a week ago where she said, I can't find my baby. I can't find my baby. And I asked her, how old is your baby? And she says, 16. And then I turn around and there he is. He's 6'1" and like 187 pounds. Like, man, get the fuck out of here with this shit. This is not no baby. This is a grown ass man, you know. And I'm hearing all of this. And I'm like, what? I was so anxious to go back and confront him. Not to confront him on some rah, 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 but to confront him to just let him know, like, listen, it wasn't so much, let me take that back. I wanted to confront him, but I also wanted to confront the black TSA workers that he was talking to that had nothing to say.
Mm.
But they smiled and was like, okay, yes. That's pretty much what they was giving, like, yeah. Okay. That's what they were giving.
All right.
So I was just like, I wanted to go back and say something to him. What I wanted to say to him was more so to the TSA workers was you guys need to speak up in situations like this. Regardless of however this kid looks, he's 15 years old. That is his mama's baby.
Yeah.
That's her baby. You can't take that away. The problem is him seeing the situation where he's seen another customer and the kid was 6'1" and 180 whatever, and you need to just push him away and just dismiss it. The problem was, if you continue to let this narrative be pushed, this is the reason why our black babies continue to get killed by police officers and everybody else, because just because they're 6'1" or 200 pounds or whatever, it doesn't mean that they're not a baby. Black boys should be allowed to age and become grown men.
There is like a quickness with aging us up, and it's not just black men either. It's black women, black girls. Like there's a rush to get us out of childhood so that they can justify treating us whatever way. So like I understand what you're saying, and the only reason I was laughing earlier was just because I'm like when you said kid or baby, I was imagining like a toddler, and then 6'1", just funny picture, funny image.
So yeah, that was my first. Imagine I'm going through security. That was my first encounter. I didn't say anything. I just held it in. I didn't say anything because I had on my work polo. So I'm traveling for work. I'm traveling for business. So I have on my work polo.
Are you going straight to work after you got off the plane?
Yes.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah. So we go. If it wasn't that case, I would not have had on work clothes. So we go straight to work directly from the plane. So I had on my work polo, and I had on my company travel book bag, which I carried on.
You had your brands.
I was branded all the way through, so I couldn't say nothing. I'm like, oh, I was just so, boom, move past that. We're on the plane. I'm on the plane, and then I'm like, okay, how the hell did I end up with a middle seat?
Oh,
now, I know all my preferences. Now, my company travel, the company that we use for travel, my company, we have all our preferences set, and my preference is always a window. So I'm like, how the hell did I end up in the middle seat?
Deborah Cox plays in the background.
How did you get here? Oh, don't do that. I felt that. I felt that.
Nobody's supposed to be here.
So I'm like, all right, the row directly behind me, there's one person. One person.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay. As soon as the doors close to the plane, I'm going to exit stage left and move.
Absolutely.
Hey, Maya. Philly, what's up? Yeah.
Hey, Maya.
So I moved to the seat behind me. The guy was in the middle seat. And of course, I assume he set his ass in the middle seat because he had an empty row. And he's like, if I sit in the middle seat, nobody's going to sit here.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my fat ass the fuck up. And I went back there. And asked him, I said, oh, excuse me, can I get the seat right here? Let me get over there. He moved. He let me get the window seat. And he, in turn, didn't take the middle seat. He sat on the aisle seat. So there's a middle seat empty between us.
Yeah.
Fine and dandy. I think everything's cool. Nothing's going on. Then I noticed a white man across the aisle, the other side of the aisle, where maybe about 2 seats up, 2 rows up from where I was. He had absolutely nothing to do with anywhere I was sitting.
Not mine.
Whether my assigned seat or the seat I changed to, he had nothing to do with it. This motherfucker stops the flight attendant to tell the flight attendant, this bitch looks and points at me, to tell the flight attendant that I changed my seat.
Because you're in kindergarten. Because that's what's happening. You're in kindergarten.
Now, all this Karen shit, I was like, I wanted to just, I had my mask on. I legitimately was like, behind my mask, I was like, mind your fucking business.
Like,
what?
what?
I know you can hear me. I was so pissed. Like, you're tattletaling. You have nothing to do with what just happened. Mind your fucking business.
You felt that mad, like about you, like someone who had nothing to do with you, you weren't speaking to them, didn't take the seat they were gonna take.
Nothing at all. Nothing. Hey, Tears Love. Nothing at all. So I'm so fed up at this point. So I just sit back and I don't say nothing. And at this time now, I'm just becoming more anxious and anxious and anxious. But what I left out was when we boarded in Philadelphia, American has priority lane and just main lane. If you're not exclusive, you're not in priority, you're in the regular lane. So when the regular lane was boarding, we're boarding and we're in line to board. Like 4 white people come up and they go into the exclusive line. And they say, are you premium? And they all say no. And they just stand there and get us with the tickets. And she just smiles and says, okay, and looks at their stuff and go and let them go in front of everybody. And started telling them, no, get your ass to the line where everybody else is. That's privilege. It's shit.
So fucking annoying.
Privilege is shit. And I know it seems like I'm dragging it on, but let me finish it up real quick. So then I had a layover in Chicago. I was hungry because I had an early morning flight. So let me grab and had an hour layover in Chicago. So let me grab something to eat. Sit at a bar. That's the only thing that's open. And she gives me a breakfast menu. Have 3 options. I have the option of a ham and cheese omelet, a 3-cheese omelet, or a country breakfast, which consists of 2 eggs, potatoes, and toast. I don't eat pork. So none of that was the only option on the menu for me was the 3-cheese omelet. So I ordered that. When I order it, she goes and brings out a white guy, a burger and fries. And I said, oh, excuse me. Is that available? She says, oh yeah, it's on the other menu. And I said, what's the other menu? And she said, oh, she shows me. I said, oh, I would like to have chicken wings. I don't want the omelet.
Yeah.
I've been in the military for years and I've traveled all over. I don't know what the fuck an airport omelet is. Bitch, it's an omelet in the bag. Bitch, it's not real, girl. They boil her and bring it out to you. I don't want that.
Ew.
I don't want that.
Add water, shake it up in a bag.
Period. So she says, oh, well, your order's already in, so I can't change it. I said, what do you mean you can't change it? I said, listen, you failed to give me the other menu. I didn't fail to order from the other menu. You failed. So she's like, well, it's almost done, so you can't change it. There was a white guy also at the bar, and the white guy says, oh, that's really fucked up. He just spoke up. He just spoke up and said, that's really fucked up. She took her shit, she went away. And then she came back, she offered me the other menu and said, we can make it whatever. So I got cheese sticks. Boom. That was the second anxiety attack. Then
lubricate.
Then I make it into OKC, Oklahoma City, and nobody has on a fucking mask. I was anxious as fuck, especially coming from Philadelphia.
Bitch,
With we been on a mandatory mask and stay at home and all of this shit. I'm just like,
y'all just outside. Raw dog in reality.
Period. So long story short, that was my weekend and that was my week.
I'm stressed. Let's get into this episode because that going to the airport and traveling is already a lot, and then just compounding that with everything that's going on, and then white people who don't know how to act. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
So where do we start?
Should we start with what's most important to us, which would be black?
Yes, please. Let's do that first.
Oh, whenever you're ready.
Okay. I want to start with Charlemagne, the God of the Breakfast Club, getting his own TV show on Comedy Central coming up this fall. Because I just had some questions. I don't know how it's actually gonna operate. Because
Well, shout out to Charlemagne.
yes,
Shout out to him. Congratulations on getting your own show.
because you have been saying since the top of this year, maybe actually the end of last year, that you were leaving the Breakfast Club.
Ooh,
And then
you're breaking up. Yeah.
So I want to know, like, who do you think he's gonna have as a co-host? Do you think it's just gonna be Charlemagne by himself talking?
I prefer that you go slow down and repeat it all again because your audio is shot.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And I want the people that really understand the question, hear the question. It was like so it was breaking up. It's like internet interference.
Oh, weird. Okay, so can you hear me better now?
Yes.
All right. I just am curious as to who his
Doing it again.
just curious as who he's gonna pick as a co-host. Was my only question.
Okay. What network is it on?
It's on Comedy Central.
Which is predominantly catered to white people.
Yeah, white college boys, like frat boys.
Okay. I love Charlemagne. I will say that. Let me first say shout out to Charlemagne. I love Charlemagne because Charlemagne is the gayest straight person I know. And if I had a song to play right now, I would play is it by Katy Perry? Was when she said,
"Oh, you're so gay that you don't even like boys."
So gay that you don't even like boys. That is Charlemagne to me. That is so Charlemagne. So I respect him, and he respects the high baby. He respects the queen. He respects Queen B. Period.
He knows not to come after. That's why.
Yes. I would say I don't think that he can hold the show down himself. I don't think that he can do it by himself and hold it down and make it lasting. So to pull the viewers in, I would think that the best person, with Charlemagne being a cisgender man and not being gay, I think that what he should really do that would just shake the fucking foundation. What K. Michelle say? This bitch shaking the table. If this bitch want to shake the table, he would bring Flame Number.
Which would honestly just elevate the show so much because Flame's perspective is not like anybody.
No, it's
that is
not.
Queer, that embodies the life that Flame has. No one has those kinds of opinions and is so blunt and straightforward and kind of compliments.
In your face. In your face.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that Flame would be like, if he really wants his show to succeed for longevity, I think Flame would be his best choice.
But that's two firecrackers. And it's like he's that person on the Breakfast Club, and he has like Envy and Angela Yee, who are, well, Envy's really chill. Angela Yee doesn't talk. So who's gonna offset him in the ways that they do?
But if you really get into the Breakfast Club and you really pay attention to Charlemagne knows when to shut his mouth. And if you watch the interviews that he had with Flame, he knows when to shut his mouth and when to open his mouth. That's what makes him so good. Because he knows when he needs to interject and he knows when he needs to shut the fuck up and just let nature take its course, let the natural course happen.
Okay, true.
That's what makes him so great to me. Well, he learned from Wendy.
That's what I was going to say next, because he's worked with so many different people. I feel like it's hard for me to even pin down who he would work with next, because I feel like he worked with that one white boy who was on everything on MTV, the like mid 2000s. I can see his face and I can't. Andrew Schwartz. He worked with Crystal from The Read. He's worked with Wendy. Like, there's so many different personalities that have worked and haven't worked. So it's just going to be an interesting chemistry test whenever they pick who they pick.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Well, while we're on Black culture, Charlamagne, we love you. If you ever need some extras, if you ever need somebody to come and fill in, do some interviews, we're here. Holler at us. We talked about our girl, Jada.
How she's still not at the red table.
Like, Jada, it don't take nothing more than the table being, it's in your house. So the table is there. Move the table, and you don't even have a couple of chairs. You're bringing yourself, so you only need one chair. What's hard about it? Like, can we get this going?
She's not, like, also just coming up with questions to ask yourself when you know you dead wrong. Like, she has to come up with a narrative. She's probably back there with script writers like, yo, how are we going to spin this?
I talked about it in our inaugural episode, how she's going to spin it, how I think she's going to spin it. And I think she's going to victimize the victim.
Should be interesting. I mean, I still don't even understand why her and Will denied half of the stuff. I just think, like, at this point, who are you even doing it for?
At this point, I'm just so sick of them, and I'm so sick of talking about them, period. I just want to talk about their mess. I don't care what their relationship, I just want to talk about their mess. And their mess is, did you get into the Instagram post that Jada's mother posted?
Oh, you mean the one that Jada posted on her mother's account? Because you know Gammy does not know how to work Instagram. She may look young, but she is not young.
Hold on. Wait, did you just sock it to us like that? Did you
I'm calling it as I see it. There's no way she just typed all that up. She's like, Jada was like, Mom, let me see your phone.
No! So
her phone and just copy pasted, boom, boom. Here you go. Had to check the weather, sis.
Stop! So you think that Jada posted on Gammy's page? That was the post.
Either Jada or Jada's team, but like that wasn't from Gammy. Gammy's probably like, girl, I told you this was messy. I've been told you this was messy.
And I can kind of, I would think that I would side with you on this, because the episode on Red Table Talks when Jada was like, Joker down this side of the house and we run this side, and Game was like, you always say it, and I always say, you're crazy.
You're doing too much.
And I said, you're doing too much, yes. And I said before in the previous episode, like, Gammy is the only one that, to me, who has any sense out of all of them.
Because she's grounded in reality.
Yeah. What do you think about Will Smith's sister comments?
I didn't see her comments. I actually did look for them.
Child, it was so cryptic. It was cryptic to the point to where I don't even feel like I want to dive into them, because it wasn't
that was on Red Table Talk, right?
No, she gave she posted Instagram stuff. Let me pull up her Instagram and give you
she posted on Instagram. Oh,
she posted on Instagram. Izzy Will?
I would feel so weird if I had to post something on my siblings' behalf because their open marriage got found out. That's just an odd, specific thing.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna look it up because I can't.
Yeah, we can keep it pushing. On the other side of Calabasas is Kanye's stupid ass, and he wants to run for president. And I just think we need to really confront our obsession in America with celebrity culture. because this should have actually been confronted when Donald Trump was elected president, but since we're still here and Kanye and Paris Hilton are both running.
Are we going to talk about him right now, though? Is he worthy? Is he worthy? Because we're talking about Black culture. Is Kanye even worthy to be discussed in this segment?
Child, you're right. He kind of needs to be talked about. I'm already halfway through it.
I just don't feel like he's worthy. We're talking about
why not worthy.
Huh?
Why not worthy? Say more.
He's not worthy. I would say Beyonce.
I'm screaming.
What do you think about congratulations to Beyonce and her team on the Disney Plus film that will be released on July 31st, Black is King?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I am actually excited because I didn't get into the Spirit album like that, so it'd be nice. Nice slow down Beyonce. Yeah, we've talked about this. Remember, I thought one of the songs was a different artist completely. So I'm excited that she's getting like a proper rollout with it, and I guess she's treating it like an actual album, which should be interesting.
Well, The Gift is an actual album, and I believe that Sis is rolling this out, and Sis, when all this other stuff is gone, COVID and all this and everything goes to normal, Sis is going to tour The Gift. I think that's what people that's why she has this coming out. If this wasn't coming out, I think she would have already toured The Gift.
Okay.
She would have already toured The Gift. And talking about Beyonce, talk about Christian Cooper. Do you really have? Talk about her.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, just like really quickly, I'll just catch everyone up. Christian Cooper was the man that was bird watching, and he got the cops called on him by Amy Cooper, who was in the park with her dog off of the leash. So recently they have decided to charge her with, I think it was a 3rd degree, calling the police without actually needing anything. And Christian Cooper, like, his whole thing is very odd to me because he's saying that she's been through enough. She shouldn't actually have to go up against any more charges. She has a law named after her in New York State. In New York State, Amy Cooper's law. Basically, you cannot call the cops with a racially motivated non-emergency. And through that also, like in San Francisco right now, it was brought up on the Board of Supervisors by Shaman Walton, the Karen Act with a C. And it stands for the Caution Against Racially Exploitative Non-Emergencies. So basically the Karen Act is going to act as a way for there to be accountability for people who are calling in the cops and treating them as their own personal bodyguard. So whenever we see people on the street that are calling the cops on little kids having a lemonade stand and not having a permit, or the couple that was a few weeks ago, there was a person who wrote Black Lives Matter on their front step, and they were saying they knew the person that lived there and that the man was defacing their property, which wasn't true. And they're on camera. And I think it also just raises a good point about how we need to move away from calling these people Karens. And yes, we all think it's really funny, and it is a funny joke amongst us, but now that it's seeped into popular and mainstream culture, we need to take a step back and be like, whoa, we need to actually call these people what they are, and that's white supremacists. And they're agents of white supremacy because they're just terrorizing Black kids and Black people for just being. And I don't know, I think it's really important that we do take a step back and start naming these things and naming these people what they are. And just to go back to Christian Cooper, I also think it's important that we don't absolve people of their wrongdoing. So like with Amy happening, I do think that on one hand, yes, a lot has happened, and in this moment, we're talking about abolition and the need for us to like move away from policing. It's also important to realize like she did something bad, and we do absolve white women a lot of the like in situations like this because it is reminiscent of like an Emmett Till situation where it's her word against his, and in this case there were video cameras used, and that could have been the difference between Christian Cooper being able to be like, hey, maybe she shouldn't go to like get another charge against her, or him being dead. So I don't know. I think we need to take these things in stride and be aware that although people are being recorded and although like things are happening, to make sure that there are steps of accountability put in place on a larger scale, they still know they have the power to do these things and to be an Amy Cooper, to be a Karen, and to just terrorize us for nothing other than us being black.
And that's exactly what it is a terrorizing. That's what it is. You summed that up so well, Eli.
Thank you.
Kudos to you. I don't even feel like I need to say anything. You completely got that. Let's run to Black people, since we're on Black culture. What do you think about? Have you tried Lil Boosie's rap icon snack?
Okay, but I do like the chips. I recommend Trina's, the honey jalapeno.
Really? Well, I like the Cardi B ones.
Cardi B's are good. Oh, and Little Yachty's. It's just like hot Cheetos.
I haven't had Little Yachty's, but Cardi B's, I don't know, it's barbecue something cheddar. I don't know, but it's good. I like Cardi B's. They're good. But the company has started their own like ramen noodle brand,
which was a good move.
Well,
I mean, like, think about the target demographic, and then isn't it Romeo and his dad?
No, that's two separate entities.
Whew. Bring that one back.
So Master P started his own ramen noodle line.
Got you. Okay, I thought it was under the same umbrella.
Master P started his own line, and then Rap Icon Snacks decided to go into ramen noodles as well. I haven't had Master P's gumbo. Like, he got flavors like Louisiana gumbo and stuff like that, like good flavors. But I will say that I tasted Lil Boosie's. I bought Lil Boosie's over the weekend.
What's it get?
Paid $1.56 for some tired ass noodles.
As soon as you said $1.56, I was like, oh, he did not enjoy it.
Those noodles were tired as fuck.
Well, I mean, let's see.
Well, look a little Boosie. He's tired. He's black. He's crispy. But let me shut my fat ass the fuck up because I'm gonna do myself for. He is black, but he's ugly, and that has nothing to do with him being black. He's just because he's ugly. He's just ugly. Period. Let me say he's ugly. Child, he's ugly.
He looks dehydrated. It looks like his pee is darker than his skin. It's fine.
He's a fucking pedophile.
Things we don't talk about enough.
Even if you say he ain't slept with nobody underage, well, bitch, he had a stripper or a sex worker sleep with his son and his nephew that were underage. So therefore, if you have made that outlet for them, you're yourself a pedophile.
Yeah, you facilitated it.
Yeah, you're a fucking pedophile. So Lil Boosie, ramen noodle snacks. I tried the Louisiana hot spicy chicken brand, and I don't recommend it.
See, that sounds like it should taste good, though.
It sounds like it tastes good. That's why I tried it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it. I wanted to be like, ooh, yes, it's creamy, and it was horrible.
That's
absolutely horrible. The regular ramen noodles or Maruchan, the top ramen, or whoever you choose to use, slays.
Damn, like that?
Slaves. Lil Boosie shit was tired through and delayed. Tired through and delayed. Period. That was their shit. To me, it was horrible. I did not enjoy it, none whatsoever. So fuck Lil Boosie.
Okay, amen. On a lighter note, some good news. Remy Ma and Papoose welcoming their second child. Not welcoming, but they announced that she's pregnant, which is exciting. I like Remy's new rebrand.
It is a total rebrand. Congratulations to Remy and Papoose. It is a complete rebrand. And why I said it's rebrand because when Pat wanted to have the original baby, Remy was so against it and not. She wanted to wait. But it's a rebrand because sis, you pregnant again. So you must have rebranded some shit.
Okay.
Kudos to them. Kudos to them. What I would say is the next thing for us to talk about is the NFL. We're still on Black culture. Shout out to Remy, shout out to Pat. So what we like to do is we like to give the good and the nasty.
Okay.
So we gave you the good, here's the nasty. The NFL.
Where do we even begin with the NFL? Let's just start with I hate that they're trying to do this week one lift every voice and sing before the national anthem gets played thing. That doesn't make any sense. When did we ask for the Negro national anthem to be sung? When was that on the list of demands? So please tell me. Because do they think that it's like we won't kneel for that? No one knows the second verse.
We don't even stand up for that. To be honest, but we should, but we don't. So
we just sit in place and sing hard to our neighbor and hit them.
Yes, bitch, you hear that? Bitch, that's my part. That's what we get. So I think Jay-Z needs to step the fuck up.
I forgot he did that dumbass deal.
He needs to step the fuck up and really think about the shit that the NFL is putting out. Bitch, I didn't learn the Black National Anthem until I was a full-grown adult.
Same.
I had never heard of it until I was a full-grown adult. I didn't even know the shit existed, to be honest.
Fendi.
And the crazy thing is that my fraternity, shout out to Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, the author of Lift Up Your Voice and Sing, the National Black Anthem, he's a Sigma.
Amen. Learned something new today.
And I didn't know. I heard the author's name or whatever, but I didn't really get into the depths of it until I became a member of the organization.
And I bet that's just like a level of commitment that you have to have when you sing that song.
Which is very true. And then you also run through like the original version of it, how you heard it, how you hear it originally to what it's become today, which is like, oh my God, you talk about it. And you talk right now.
Oh, okay.
While you're talking, Eli, I'm going to pull up. I'm looking for.
Well, just going back to these symbolic gestures that don't make any sense and is not what we asked for. It's just like what Malcolm X said. The white man's going to try to do all of these symbolic things instead of giving us economic equity that we're asking for and justice. So just be mindful that there's going to be a lot of things like these people stepping down from cartoon character positions or them deleting old episodes of TV shows. These are a part of a larger distraction, and we got to stay focused.
We got to stay focused by all means at all costs. Period. When is the last time you heard the Black National Anthem?
When's the last time I listened to Homecoming? Like 2 days ago.
Outside of Beyonce.
Oh, then
Outside of B.
I can actually tell you. It was 3 or 4 summers ago, and I was at this training in Tennessee for this teaching summer job, and they sang it there, and it was the Freedom School. Nikki G was at the graduation for it. It was the blackest thing I've ever done.
Oh my God. So let me see about sharing Kurt Franklin's version. And listen, if it's not coming through correctly, text me so you can get it. So I know it's not coming through how it's supposed to come through.
Oh no,
check this out.
When did they record this?
Kurt Franklin, take a bow. We have just rewritten our Black National Anthem.
Short king things, man. Every time I look at Kirk Franklin, I just have to like immediately Google his height. He's 5'5".
What did you think of that rendition?
I loved it. And everyone just looks so beautiful and melanated, and it's just like glowing. Yeah, that was really good.
That should really be like what we should be pushing.
But see, like I can't even celebrate that because I don't want that, and like that doesn't have any place at the NFL. So it's like as much as I would love it, it doesn't make sense. Just like it doesn't make sense that the Star Spangled Banner is played before the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So true. So freaking true. So true. Political power. Oh. What is your thought on, let me just say, I think that we already know that the president is racist. And honestly, I'll take that back. I don't even think Donald Trump is really racist. I think Donald Trump is just playing into the position of power and doing and saying what he needs to say to try to remain in the position of power. That's what I believe of him.
I mean, he's still racist, but yeah, go off.
The what do you think about ICE wanting all the foreign students who are here on a visa to go back to their countries?
In short, it's really fucked up because it's like these students are leaving their home country. They more times than not, most of them don't have like the resources to go, like to even exist in America as a student on a visa. Like that in itself is such like a unique experience where sometimes if your papers aren't going to get through, you can't get work. You have to like they're just making it more difficult for people who are not American to succeed, and it's not fair. Just I have to say that first. And then I just think it's ridiculous that even with all of this happening, how many colleges have to go through these weird hoops and loopholes to try to like make sure that their kids can stay on campus and still be within like the legally in America's new laws. So I know for a fact that NYU and Columbia, they're doing a 1 credit course, global course that will allow their students who are international students to stay on campus for the duration of like the semester.
Because they have to actually have come in the classroom to pass the course.
So by creating this 1 credit in-person course, they've allowed like at least a good chunk of students to stay in America for the time being. But it's like they shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And their visa shouldn't be threatened just because you didn't handle COVID-19 correctly. Like this all goes back to you just did not handle this properly, and now everyone has to suffer because of it. The amount of deaths that we're experiencing, the amount of people that are still contracting COVID, and the fact that now students can't continue their education because you did not take the disease seriously.
And you want to keep putting things on the Obama administration when what is it, Ebola or something? Only 2 people died from that. 2 Americans.
Ebola. Was he in charge when swine flu happened?
Yes, he was. Like, nobody. So, like, stop comparing apple to oranges. Trump, get your shit together, bitch.
You don't compare what you don't compete.
Speaking of COVID-19 and people getting it, what do you think about Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta, saying?
Oh, you mean like every other bottom in Atlanta getting COVID-19?
Mm-hmm.
Because no one knows how to act down there either.
What happened? What you say? What was that?
I said, oh, you mean like every other bottom in Atlanta getting it? Because that's what's happening down there. Did you see this past weekend how there's every gay person was in Atlanta?
Don't try to tap dance away from that.
I'm standing firm in my shade. But did you see really how like everyone was in Atlanta this weekend? What was happening? Why is there a pool inside a club?
I don't know, Child. I want you telling me about all the bottoms in Atlanta that you was just talking about.
I'm just stating things based on the fact that their masks weren't being worn out in public. I mean, come on, everyone down like people in major cities down south are like it's not like COVID. It does not exist anymore.
Yeah, because I'm in Oklahoma, and I told you it's like nothing's going on here, and you're not running student housing. I'm walking through the halls, and I'm stopping students like, "Where's your mask?" Am I permanent? I'm like, okay, well, turn around and go back to your room and get your mask.
Like, I don't understand the disconnect, why people aren't taking it as seriously as it is.
I don't either, but what you think about Keisha getting it, though? You said that. What you think about Keisha getting it?
I mean, I think that...
Besides, you think all the bottom...
Like, on one hand, it's like, oh, you're out in these streets. Probably you're doing a lot of press, obviously. Like, she is one of the most vocal mayors of a major city recently, I feel like.
Yeah.
But then it's like you're not setting a good example because you're still out here with it and you're asymptomatic. Just sit down. That's all you have to do in this scenario is just sit down. I'm sure the citizens of Atlanta don't need to see you.
I think she was trying to show them. I think she was trying to use her situation as a way to explain to them. And show them because so many of us, see us, don't get it unless we see the reality, unless it's tangible for us. So I feel like she's like, oh, she said, went to funeral, I was tested. One person in the household came in positive. 3 days later, we're tested. Now everybody in the house has it. She's trying to show how contagious the virus is. Anyways, I'm not a member of Atlanta. I'm not a citizen of Atlanta. I don't live in Atlanta. I don't frequent Atlanta. So my thing is move on from her. What do you think about
What do you think about it being like there are a lot more leaders getting it? So we've seen Justin Trudeau from Canada, the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of Brazil just got diagnosed with it. A lot of people in Trump's camp. So like if people in leadership positions keep getting sick and keep contracting it, what is that? Where does that lead us as the citizens?
Well, I've always said from the beginning, I'm one of those people who was like, oh, when it came, I was like, oh, I wish it had hit me.
You were on that. Yeah, say more about that because you really were trying to.
I wish it had hit me because based upon science, it's not going anywhere. So, in my thought process was, let me be one of the first to get it, so that if I have so many health complications that I may need a ventilator, ventilators are available. That things are still available for me. I don't want to wait till the second and third wave to get it, and then all the ventilators and everything is depleted, and there's nothing here for me. So I'm like, let me get it and let me get it over with. But I quarantined, and thank God I don't have it, and I haven't had it. Um, I'm waiting to go get an antibody test to see if I've had the antibodies, but I don't have a cough. I've never gotten a cough or anything. But again, like Keisha said, she's tested positive and she's been asymptomatic, no symptoms at all. So I could be the same way or whatever. I just want the shit to be over.
I hear you. To just be able to be like, that is out of my system. It'll be hard for me to contract that again. Like, just because we're not out of the first wave yet, are we?
Yeah.
No, we're in like phase 2 or 3, but are we out of the first wave of Corona?
We're out of the first wave.
Okay.
We're out. We're in the phases of turning back to normal, but we're out of the first wave. But what they're recognizing is that the first wave, the second wave, is now beginning where they didn't expect it to begin until winter.
Okay, gotcha. Because I know like the timelines just shifted and we're in the worst case scenario, and I wish they would stop saying like, oh, COVID is breaking records. Like, no, we're living in what we were afraid of living in September, but in July.
Yes.
And I just think people have just been going through the motions because time doesn't seem like it exists right now for whatever reason. It's just everything is just happening.
That is the truth. That is the 100% unadulterated truth.
Child, what else is there in this?
We talked about Keisha.
We did talk about
and we should wrap up this segment with my most favorite segment. Today in gay.
Nice little rainbow moment.
In this segment, we just want to tell you about what's going on currently in the LGBTQIA community and talk about our terminology that originated with us, by us, that a lot of heterosexual people stolen from us. So today in gay, let's talk about Halle Berry. Halle Berry has pulled out of her role, where she was an upcoming film where she was to portray a trans man.
Yes, I did see this.
So after so much backlash online, she completely pulled out. And on Instagram, Halle said, "Who this woman was is so interesting to me, and that will probably be my next project." Let me read that statement again. "Who this woman was is so interesting to me, and that will probably be my next project." Keep that. Hold on to that. Hold on to that, okay? And then she issued an apology saying, "The transgender community should undeniably have the opportunity to tell their own stories. Over the weekend, I had the opportunity to discuss my consideration of an upcoming role as a transgender man, and I'd like to apologize to those remarks. As a cisgender woman, I now understand that I should not have considered this role, and that the transgender community should undeniably have the opportunity to tell their own stories." She wrote that on Twitter. "I'm grateful for the guidance and the critical conversation over the past few days, and will continue to listen, educate, and learn from this mistake. I vow to be an ally in using my voice to promote better representation on screen, both in front of and behind the camera."
What are your thoughts on it? Because it seems like we're gonna have different opinions on this.
My thought is she just should have dropped from the road and never released a statement.
Thank you. Okay, I was actually surprised.
Yeah,
because I feel like this happened very fast, where I feel like I saw the role maybe that it was offered to her on Saturday, and then Sunday there was an apology. It just happened so rapidly. But I cut you off. My bad. What were you gonna say?
That's what I was going to say. I think she just should have just gave up the role and just not said nothing, not released no statement, nothing. Just figured out, oh, I fucked up, and just be done with it.
Exactly. And especially because like, I don't know, have you watched Disclosure yet on Netflix?
I have, yes. And did you see Disclosure tweeted her?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just think like they had a really interesting part in the documentary where it was basically saying like the fact that cisgender people have played transgender roles for so long, that's probably added to the stigma of this is a man in a dress, or this is a whatever also awful thing they say about these people, rather than humanizing them and being like, oh, this is a human being who is living a very marginalized existence, and we're further pushing them to the margin by just treating them as if they're a Tyler Perry playing Medea character or Martin Lawrence playing Big Mama. Like, it's lacking that human touch. And as much as Halle Berry's probably meant well when she wanted to go out for the role, they got her together.
Yeah, I absolutely think her intentions were all good. And when she talks about the role, I think her intentions were all good. I honestly do. I think they were. But I'm glad that she was smart enough to pull out of the role.
And pulled out fast. They didn't make a big like fuss about it.
That's it. So also today in game, I'm going to talk about the HIV crisis in the world. So the global fight against AIDS, that is a continual fight in our community, and we must not shun away from it. We must run towards it, and we must do everything in our power to get to zero. So the global fight against AIDS was faltering even before COVID-19, the pandemic. And this newly emerged viral disease is now threatening to put progress against HIV back by 10 years or more.
We're already so far behind.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The latest data from 2019 shows that 38 million people worldwide are now infected with the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, that causes AIDS. The report said a million more than in 2018.
What?
Some 25.4 million HIV positive people were on antiviral treatment in 2019, a huge advance from a decade ago, from 2009. But one that still leaves 12.6 million. 12.6 million not getting medicines that can keep the virus at bay and prevent its spread. The report also found the world is far behind. The world is far behind. The world is far behind. The world is far behind in preventing new HIV infections with 1.7 million, 1.7 million, 1.7 million new.
What was it?
1.7 million
Jeez.
new HIV cases in 2019.
And I mean, that doesn't even go into like how it's 1 out of every 2 Black gay men can contract HIV in our lifetimes, or I think it's 1 out of every 3 Black women can contract it in their lifetime. This disproportionately hits us. We have to care about this.
I just can't say anything.
Those numbers are terrifying.
The numbers spoke for itself. I can't say anything. The only thing I can leave y'all with is we like to give you, to end Today in Gay, a word of our day. This segment is designed to educate those of you who are a part of the heterosexual community or the homosexual community or whatever you want to be identified as, the LGBTQIAPK community. We like to educate you and make sure that you understand the words that you're using and their origin and how you should use it.
Yes.
So, Eli, today's word is what?
Today's word. Ooh. B.
Really? You think B? I thought it was going to be something more like it's our. How about picking the word that's more in line with? Since this is our introductory of this word of our word of the day.
You're right. It's loading for me, so I'm trying to find a different one.
So let's go with. I'll go with. I'll pick it. Since this is the first time we're introducing it, well, we'd like to say that we are transparent, we are truthful. My name is Trey Real because I keep it real and I tell the truth. And Eli is always telling. Eli, I think you should change your name to Eli Real. Oh, that's
we're the House of Real now.
Oh, that's cute. Eli Real. Eli Real. Listen to it.
Eli Real. Yeah, we could workshop it.
That's cute. That's cute. But nonetheless, what we want to say is that I'm going to talk about the word tea.
Actually, great place to start.
One of the reasons why I wanted to do this segment, we wanted to do this segment, is because oftentimes the heterosexual community, Real Housewives of Atlanta, likes to steal Wendy, yes, likes to steal our terminology, and they never want to give us credit for the originality of the words that they're using, and they shun us. So this is a way of us taking back our ownership to our own lingo. So today we'll talk about the word tea. Tea is not a word. Most of you use it as TEA. Eli, please jump in at any point. Most of you use it. You can cut me off.
No, you're good. That's why I was just letting you go.
So TEA is not a word in the gay community. TEA is just what it is. Would you mind fixing me a cup of tea? People say, "Oh, girl, what's your tea? What's the tea? What's going on, girl? What's the tea? Gaga?" Girl, that's not what tea means. Tea doesn't mean what's the gossip, what's the latest gossip, what happened with you and so. That's not what tea means. Tea originated from our trans sisters, and it was an acronym for truth. So instead of exploiting one of our trans sisters, if you had a question in your mind, was someone trans and you wasn't sure about it, instead of you going and saying, "Girl, you're a tranny, you trans," or this, that, and third. And I said tranny because that was what the word that was used back in those times. They didn't do that. What they would do is go say, "Hey, girl, how are you, girl? Girl, what's your tea?" The community around there knew nothing. So to say, "What's your tea?" And she said, oh, she might step back and look at you and, "Girl, okay, girl, this is my tea." And she tell you. So when she said, "What's your tea?" it is to say, what is your truth? Are you transgender? Are you cisgender? Are you a witch queen or whatever? What is your truth? What's your truth? That is where the word.
Far from that.
Say again.
We've strayed so far from that definition.
So just far.
Even like sips tea. Like there's so much more that went into like the false narrative of what it is now versus like where we got that from. That's crazy.
And then cultural appropriation. Look at the housewives and everybody else. What's the tea? Even all the straight community, even drug dealers and hood toxic masculine culture. Yeah, I feel like he was being shady. But we're not even going to use shady tonight. We're going to stick on
baby steps. Baby steps.
Baby steps. We're going to stick on tea. So that is the origination of tea. So when someone comes to you and say, "What's your tea?" remind yourself that tea is just your truth. It's not about gossip. It's not about backbiting. It's not about back and forth. It's about what is your truth. So if I call you tomorrow and say, "Good morning, girl. What's your tea?" "Girl, I'm still laying in this bed, child.
Okay, and that's the truth.
That is your truth. And that is what tea is. So let's stop perpetuating this false narrative that we're sipping some hot tea, because that's not what it is. What's always hot, what's hotter than hot tea is the truth. Can't nothing get hotter than it.
Come on. Take us to church.
So in today's game, the word of the day is tea. What is your truth? Comment, share, like. Please comment, rate us, let us know what's your tea. Share with us your tea. And that's all I have to say. say for this segment, Eli.
Yeah, that was good. I can't wait to go through and actually like use more of these because we're really gonna put people on at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I think that we have a responsibility to educate.
We do. UrbanDictionary.com does not do any of these words justice.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. And we can't be mad when they use it wrong if we've never taken the opportunity to teach it to them.
Each one, teach one.
Teach one. Yes. And I love you more than I love white bread.
Love you too. Oh my God.
Till next time.
Yes, sir.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe so you don't miss out.
We're on Apple Podcasts. We're going to be on Spotify this week. Make sure to go on our Facebook page. Keep up with our posts. Leave us a review, please. 5 stars.
Yes, holler at our Instagram page, _ let's talk about it, sis. Sis is SUS. It is homage to the gay community because we like to use sis. What's up, sis? Let's talk about it, sis. So SUS. We love y'all, and we love y'all for listening and tuning in with us.